We got a fish on. See you, buddy. Okay, in the beginning of this reel maintenance series, I said we were going to be doing maintenance, tips, tricks, and fixes. So I know a lot of guys, they want to get more distance out of their casting. There's some things you can do to do that. We're going to attempt to work on this cogwheel. I mentioned that in one of the other videos. We're going to do that. We're going to just go over some other things that, you know, you can, if you're needing more distance, that you can do to probably speed it up to get that distance. Of course, one is the bearings. You know, there are so many upgrades for these reels. You could probably spend just as much in upgrades as you do for the reel, if not more. It's pretty crazy, really, how many different upgrades they have for these things. I do advise everybody to, if you are going to attempt this, to be very careful. This cogwheel is fixed on there. Like a real small, it's formed into the plastic, but that's what's keeping that on there. So what guys have done is taken a razor blade and cut that off, and then this gear will come off. And then you just take one of these little C-clips, just like the one that goes on the handle. It's the same size, and that will actually snap onto there. They also make this cogwheel with a bearing in it. That's one of the upgrades you can do. I want to attempt to use a straight razor. This is what I'm saying. You got to be very careful. If you lay that on there, apply pressure, keeping it very flat, and hopefully not cutting yourself. Okay, pushed into it. Just kind of spinning around and pushing it in. Spinning around, pushing it in. Yeah, it's cut through, but it's still in there. There we go. See there? Cut that right off. And there it is. See all that old grease back there behind it that we couldn't get out before? There's some really fine grit sandpaper. I just want to smooth that out. I believe that's pretty good. Also, just want to make sure there's no burrs or anything in there. So now we can get a little bit of oil in there. Make sure it's on there. See how much freer that is? I should have showed you what it was like before. It was a lot stiffer. See, there's the C-clip. Of course, we always got to be careful with those because they like to fly. When you're taking them off, that's when they really seem to like to fly. Getting them on is not as bad. Look at it. There we go. See? It's nice and free now. Of course, you know, if you get the one with the bearing, it'd even be better. So just that quick, we got that. We got that done. I am going to put a little bit more grease on there. Now, see, this is where it'll differ for everybody. To make these things go, if you're needing speed and needing distance, you don't have to use a grease here. You could use an oil. You could use an oil or a lighter grease. Same with the worm gear. You know, I filled it up pretty good. Some guys might think that's too much. Some guys like to use oil in there instead of grease. There's so many different things you can do to get more speed and distance out of these. You know, for me, I fish out of a boat, and I'm just more concerned about reliability. You know, I want to do this once a year, maybe every 2 years, but that's just for me. This is the way that I find it works good for me. You know, there's other guys that have different opinions. Okay, get that back on. Clicker works. So, you know, there's a lot of different things that you can do to get these things working the way you want. But for me, the Abus are, I believe if you take care of them, they're a lifetime investment, you know. I believe that my son will get these when I'm done with them, when I'm not able to fish anymore, maybe even my grandchildren, you know. And as long as they continue to take care of them, I believe they'll last a very, very long time. Because, you know, the parts that do go bad are pretty minimal and easy to replace. I do plan on doing a full teardown, cleaning, and put it back together, which will be thinking about breaking it down into 2 videos, which will be a little lengthier, but they'll be out there for someone if they need them. These things are tanks. They've been around forever. I am also thinking about doing a 7000. My son has it's exactly like these. It's the older Catfish Special, but it's 7000. It is in highly need of some service. So I will probably be tackling that also. So hope you enjoy the video. Like, subscribe, share with your friends. Come back for the next one. Comment. We appreciate. I love the comments.